Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Mitrou Project. My name is Daskalos, and why are you looking at me like that? Is it because I'm not blocky enough? Fine. Happy now? Okay, let me show you some of the improvements I did on Building D. So, thank you to the commenters who suggested the structure blocks, I guess, or something like that. Basically, they're invisible blocks that can go in this doorway here that keeps the concrete powder up so that the plaster still remains looking pretty good. So yeah, that looks great. I also took out that pillar that was here to give this basin a little bit more of a, well, basin, sort of a base rather than being completely cut off. So this looks significantly better. There was sort of like a little short wall there. And then when we come around this side, big thanks to the people who mentioned the debug stick. And then also who spoke up when I was having issues with it, trying to figure it out. I got it working. Thank you so much. This looks way better now. And I did put a little bit of a threshold here. It's not exactly what, you know, what the other one was, what the one in real life was, but yeah, I tried snow. Snow looked pretty good, and I might see, you know, if this doesn't grow on me, I might do the snow and just sort of just go with it. One thing, I didn't realize it, but there was a bit of a sort of a step down, a walk down. This should be a little bit deeper, but I'm just gonna leave it. There was also a hearth in here. But God, we're just so cramped in here. I don't know if I can put it in and make it look decent. So I might just leave that out. We'll see. So anyways, that's the improvements to Building F. Thank you so much for all of these suggestions. It helped out tremendously for this, and I think it looks so much better now. So yeah, definitely keep those suggestions coming. I do want to sort of talk about one of the suggestions that was made, which was to use end rods for these. And I get where you're coming from with it being white and it would match sort of the plaster. Problem is that the end rods, not only do they have little particles off of them, but they put off light. And so I didn't really like that. The other suggestion was, what was it? Oh, lightning rods with the copper, and those looked really cool, but the weird little bulbous ends did not look cool. And since this is 3 rather than just 2, yeah, it didn't come out real nice. If it was 2, that would be fine, because the bulbous end could go at the bottom there, and then the bulbous end can go at the top there, and it would look good, actually look really good. But in this situation, you would either have a big giant ball right here, or one at the bottom and a big giant ball up here, and it didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. So anyways, let's talk about what we are going to do today. So I could get started on Building H and Building F, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to get started on what should be in this area here, and this area here, and some of this area here, and some of this area here. I am, of course, talking about the settlement as a whole. So sort of, you know, where the people were living, not these buildings like Building F behind, or sorry, D behind me, that are sort of significant. We're going to talk a little bit about the lesser significant buildings, sort of the, and that's kind of a mean way of putting it. It's not any lesser, right? It's just other people, sort of the normal people, what the normal people are living in. And in order to do that correctly, in order to sort of come up with an idea of how this settlement is laid out, I'm going to use 2 maps. This one, which is a magnetometry map, and this one, which I'm calling the red line map. Now, if you've read the article on where it talks about these 2 maps on the site that includes these 2 maps, you will know that the red line map is built off of the magnetometry map, right? So why would I use both if I could just use the red line map? Well, I like using the magnetometry map, and I like having the red line map as well. And between the two of them, I'm sure I can figure things out. And I'm sure the red line map was made very well from the magnetometry map, and I probably shouldn't even need to use the magnetometry map, but I'm going to anyways, just to be on the safe side. But in order to do that, we're going to have to jump into a little program I haven't used in a while called Krita. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so here we are. We have the magnetometry map right here. And what I did is I put the red line map on top, and I've sort of adjusted the opacity so you can sort of see what's going on here. Now, I realize, of course, that the red line map is, you know, made from the magnetometry map. Like, I get that. I totally get that, like I said earlier. But we're still going to sort of use this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete the roads here. So this road is going to connect to here, and then this is going to make a sort of a beeline straight for the tip here. As you can see, let me turn the opacity down. You can see the tip is somewhere around this area here. So the road will come down this way. However, I did notice something, and you're probably seeing it as well, and that is this. That looks an awful lot like linear walls that go with the roads. So I actually might, I hate to say this because it's kind of hard to do in Minecraft, but I might actually, instead of having the road where they meet and then immediately go for the tip here, it might go off over here. I think I'm probably going to have to do that. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete the roads, and then from there we're going to look at these red lines and compare them, of course, to the magnetometry, which you can kind of see sort of matches up fairly well. And basically we're just going to start joining lines together that look like they go together. And if you're sort of wondering how that's going to work, let me go ahead and use a really easy example here, which is like this. You see how this looks like a square, but if you kind of zoom in, the red line sort of stops. Oh, and the thing, okay, well, anyways, yeah, you get the idea, right? So the red line stops, but that could be a doorway. But anyway, so I would make that a big square, or something of that nature, and that would be a house, right? And actually it looks like this wall continues on here. So maybe this actually met up with the wall of the road. Oh, and actually that looks like that goes there too. Anyways, all of this, of course, is to say that I'm going to start just making houses and buildings. You can see there's building D, there's building H, which is actually fairly large, and I think building F is somewhere over here, maybe this thing. Yeah, so yeah, we'll obviously that's something. And then anything that's on the road, or you know, that the road sort of cuts through, we'll get rid of. So that's why I have this extra paint layer here, so I can actually write on this. So like I can do you know, that, right? And then that way we got a line. So anyways, yeah, so I don't know if you want to watch this or not. I'll see what the time lapse looks like, and if it looks pretty good, maybe I'll include it. Otherwise, I might just do this off camera and then show you what I ended up with. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started on this.
Many hours later.
Okay, so I kind of give up. This is just like, ugh. So anyways, here's building H. We're gonna hit that at some point. It looks like there's some buildings down here. From what I can tell, they might just go right up against the bluffs, which is kind of interesting. There's definitely something right here. Let me show you. Is it that? Yeah. So you see it's pretty dark right here. So that's up against the bluffs as well. But between the two roads, I don't know, kind of weird. There's definitely something going on here, and it's real close to building F, which I think is right here. So there's got to be something going on here. This is what we think is a cemetery. So all these little lines, who knows? But there was this line right here that seemed to kind of go around, and this thing. So I'm thinking there might have been a wall at some point. So I think what I might do is I might just extend this wall out and around, and then have this as an entrance to it. I don't know. This was a little jumbled. So there's building D. There's some buildings here, obvious buildings here. There's something definitely going on right here, but I can't tell what it is. There's some stuff going on here. The yellow I put in as possible paths because there's some gaps between some of these buildings. But if you look, there's a lot of these linear lines here all over the place. So I don't know. And then over here, I mean, it's just a jumble of garbage. So, you know, I hate to say it because I really wanted this to be a little more historically accurate, but I think I'm just going to play it by ear, really, and just kind of put where, you know, things where I think they should go. So that's kind of what I got right now. Which actually, looking at it without the map on there, looks actually pretty good. What's it look? So there's the red line map. The opacity turned all the way up. So you can kind of see where I was going. That's definitely something there. You can see where there's like little gaps between some of these buildings. Maybe there's something there. Maybe like that. Hold on. Maybe something like this. Yeah, maybe another one right here. This might be something, but of course there's this road. This is, I think, a bunch of crumpled buildings, which I think might also be classical period, or not classical period, but like modern. Yeah, and this jumbled mess, I don't even know what to think of this. There are some ones like this here and this here that sort of are, you know, parallel to each other, so that might be something. But then, like, you got this up here. This is definitely something. And then you got this sort of squarish stuff here, which this might be something like, well, here. Something like this, that, there. Maybe something like that? I don't know. It's a tough call. Let's go ahead and look at, there's the magnetometry with the overlay. Real hard to see. Can I turn the opacity down on this? Whoops. Wrong one. Wait, what? There we go. Run the opacity down a little bit. There we go. So we can see a little bit better. Yeah. Oh, whoops. Did I just paint? Oh, I painted that. I painted whatever was here on the wrong layer. But anyways, you can kind of see my frustration. So, oh, there's something there. Anyways, I gotta stop because if I just keep staring at this thing, I'm gonna go crazy. So yeah. Whoa. Yep. Anyways, there you have it. I'm just gonna play it by ear. We'll get the buildings in that are important to what we want to do here, which is building H, building F here, building D, the cemetery, and then the roads. All of those structures are going to be what's important. Well, I guess the dock too. All those are going to be what's important. There is a possible tumulus over here. There's definitely a tumulus in building H. Those are all important. For the interpretive trail, that's going to be what's important for this, and I think that's what we're going to focus on rather than me trying to rebuild this, because I'm going crazy trying to get this figured out. All right. So let's head into Minecraft. Okay, so that time lapse was pretty cool. I did some road building. I also added some barrier blocks to it as well to keep people from just wandering, because of course this is a sort of tour, you know, interpretive tour of the island. And then I added that, a house. Now, gotta fix that. Now this construction is fairly accurate. You've got your rubble foundation here with mud brick or wattle and daub, and then like a sort of a mud plaster on the outside. The roof is held up by wood beams with smaller wood above that, and then on the top sort of a thatch or a thatched, you know, thatching type roof, flat roof of course. So yeah, pretty straightforward, to be honest with you. I did put this little sort of fence, or you know, around it, this sort of cobble wall around it, to give it sort of a neat little footprint. But this is about right. So rectangular houses, about like that. So here's the thing. I'm not going to do an interior on any of these because you're not actually going to walk through these buildings here. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bed in here. I'm going to put a villager kind of hanging out so that he can sort of walk around and sort of populate this whole settlement here. But yeah, that's what a late Bronze Age house looked like. Oh, I guess I could add a door, huh? You know, so that they have a little bit of privacy. Let's add a spruce door while we're at it. Looks terrible. Let's try it this way. All right, better. Adds a little bit of texture to it, a little bit of, yeah, sort of recess in there, which is nice. I might try changing out this edging with, where is it at here? One of these guys. Let's see what that sort of looks like here. You know, it adds a little bit of character, but overall, all it does is just add height. Man, I don't really like the way this is looking. I think what it is that I don't like is the logs. I think the logs are really what I don't like about this whole thing. So let me try, and I really don't want it to be 4 high. But I guess, I mean, I don't know. Maybe an overhang would help out, right? Sort of like a little porch type thing like this. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Do that, and then do something like that. Yeah. Okay. That, you know what? That looks good. It may not be historically accurate. I don't know. But that definitely looks much better. Let's see how it'll look like, or what it'll look like from here. Yeah. You know what? I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's what I'll do. And I'll do some slight variations of this type of house. Again, no interior. Not going to have an interior. Instead, it's going to have, let's do 2 beds, shall we? And we'll put a villager in here. Nope, not zombified. Oh, there we are. Welcome. Yes. Okay. And he'll just sort of wander around. and bring life to this island. And that's what we're going to do. For every house, we're going to add a couple people. And then eventually when we start working on the docks down here and get some boats in, we'll add some people there too. And yeah, so far, so good. And of course, he just walks back inside. So much for adding life to this village, huh? Okay, I think that is good on time. I did a lot of talking in this episode. I did put a single house in. Oh, hello, welcome back. Yeah, so next episode, we'll put some more houses all along here. Or maybe I do it off camera. I don't know. Or maybe I start next episode with a time lapse of me putting the houses in. That would be kind of cool. Anyways, that's it for the Mitrou Project today. So I will see you, I guess, next week.